All right, guys, here's a brand I have not had on the channel a whole lot. This is a Lum-Tec. So big thanks to Sean, who is a member of my private Discord group, for loaning this in. He's also a fellow Michigander, so that's kind of cool as well. And he picked this guy up. He tends to gravitate towards the smaller watches, and this one's definitely in that category. So let's just get right into it. We are looking at a 38 millimeter case. The bezel overhangs just slightly, but the case is 38. The lug to lug is only 43.5. You can see drilled lugs, blasted case finishing on this thing. It is stainless steel, but it is a very smooth blasted finishing on it. Thickness only 11.5 millimeter thick. Lug width is 20 millimeter. And I did not measure the crown. I don't know why I didn't measure the crown. About a 6.5 millimeter crown. Sapphire crystal AR coating. You can see that right there. Boom. This is a solar quartz watch. Quartz solar watch. However you want to say it. So it has a semi-transparent dial on this thing. You can kind of see it in certain lights. If I zoom in a little bit, you might be able to see it a little bit. Yeah, you can kind of see like a little bit of cross-hatching in there. It's semi-transparent. And that's because there's a solar cell back there. 1 hour of sunlight will charge this battery enough to run for a full day. So it's very efficient. It's actually a Seiko quartz solar movement called the VS42A and has 2 joules. So it's a pretty solid solar quartz movement. Lum-Tec also includes lifetime battery change if needed. This being a rechargeable battery, it should last a very long time, but just in case it needs to be replaced, you send it in to them in Ohio, which is where this is designed and assembled. Ohio, United States. Pretty cool, right? They will take the case back off, change the battery, replace the gaskets if needed, put the case back on, and then they test it for water resistance as well. So they do a thorough, proper battery change on this thing. The gaskets on this are Viton gaskets, which if you are a gasket geek, if you know the deep track specs of high quality materials used in some of these affordable watches, you'll know that Viton is pretty much a top tier gasket. And it's used both in the crown tube assembly and on the case back. So that is really nice. 120 click bezel on this. Nice tactile feel. Tons of traction on this bezel. Very easy to grip. Not much play at all. And if we take a closer look at the Loom Pip area, you're going to see that beautiful red triangle with a Loom Pip placed inside there that is also loomed. Of course, screw down crown, 300 meter water resist. And then the printed on dial, Lum-Tec is known for their loom, hence the name. They're using X1C3 Super Luminova. It's going to be really bright, very good. Of course, date at 3 o'clock, you can clearly see that. They're making 500 of these. This is number 66 of 500. Comes on this strap here, and Sean also spec'd it. Well, he didn't spec it with them. He bought this thing independently. This is a crown and buckle, I think, or something like that. I've had one of these straps before. This is a really good, high-quality strap, so he was going to put his watch on this strap, which would be a nice pairing. It's very similar to what it comes with, except for it's going to be thinner and more comfortable, better clasp system for what his preferences are. So that'll be a nice pairing. Price point on this watch is $495, so keeping it that $500 safety zone that I used to operate in and I'm slowly migrating back to. It falls within that category. Let's pop it on wrist real quick so you can see what it looks like on a 7¼ inch wrist. Sean's wrist is, I think, smaller than my wrist, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure exactly what size his wrist is, but I mean, I could wear a 38 millimeter diver. I just prefer not to. Definitely helps with the shorter lug to lug. It helps having the NATO. I think it helps give it more substance, you know, overall thickness, and it just presents better on wrist. All right, so let's pop this guy off wrist, and then let's cheat a little bit. We'll give it a little blast here with the UV light. Let's kill the lights, check the loom on this Lum-Tec. Oh, before I do that, I want to show it real quick next to a 5KX, just so you have a size reference. That also happens to be the watch I was wearing today. There you go. Killer loom on this. looks like 2 different colors. So we have blue on the hour and minute, green, a darker green on the seconds, and then a ton of green on the dial and the pip. Excellent loom. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next video.